Yeah, I think it's interesting with what Ross said. It's like I'll put it to a question of Ross. What the language pattern that you learned, was that something you learned or something you stopped doing? So you stopped talking factually, or did you learn how to become more emotional in your communication and your conversation skills?
I both. It's
Okay.
not or it's both. And so my influence again is neurolinguistic programming. NLP has something called the Milton model and the meta model. I don't want to get too much into NLP. The meta model is learning to get clients to become more specific. So if a
Mm.
client I have approach anxiety, I'll say, really, that's interesting. What do you mean by that? And I'll say, really, and what does that look like? But the meta model, the Milton model is being vague and learning to suggestions. So I was influenced by learning the Milton model. Milton Erickson was the father of modern hypnotherapy. He was to hypnosis what Einstein was to physics, or what Beethoven was to music. And so I was influenced a lot by that. That's why I took a lot of my language patterns or learned to create them. And so you have to do both. I think guys make the following three conversational mistakes with women. Number one, they talk about themselves. So this is where I diverge completely from telling stories that demonstrate higher value. Like, nah, you're talking about yourself. Number two, they interrogate the woman. It's not a conversation or a give and take. It's really, where'd you go to school and what did you study and why'd you do that? Blah, 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 blah. And the third thing is to have data-based conversations. Instead of describing the lush vacation they went on and the feeling of walking into the crystal clear water, they talk about what airline they took and what hotel they stayed at and how they got a great deal on kayak or priceline.com. So my whole thing is to teach my students to actually become a lot more emotionally aware, because yeah, you compare it what I say, and thousands of thousands of guys are still getting laid on my Discovery Channel pattern that I came up with in 1994, actually watching the Discovery Channel. It's a true pattern. It's based on something that really happened. So this is just my message: learning to use language with deliberation to engineer emotional states in women, not just in women, but I teach just now the sales. I work with 7 and 8 figure companies that actually sell coaching programs online. I don't know if you've heard of a guy named Caleb Jones, Alpha 2.
Oh, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it rings a bell.
I took Caleb's team and I rewrote their scripts using NLP and some of their.
Mm.
I upped his results nearly by 600% in 90 days. So that's what I do. Uh, my point being, this maps over into sales. Any kind of influence or persuasion, it's powerful tool set.
100%. So going on an ice question, I don't know whether it's you learn something or you get rid of something. I think it's a bit of both. I think you learn how to develop your skill, your personality, and then you also learn how to let go of the bull crap that you've been taught or you've stumbled upon.